Feeling trapped by a narcissistic boss can be one of the most isolating experiences in a professional's life. It's a slow, creeping loneliness that convinces you you're the only one, that the problem is you. But history, from ancient courts to modern offices, shows us that this is a classic tactic of control. Power-hungry leaders have always sought to isolate those they wish to manipulate. They sever your connections, make you doubt your own perceptions, and create an environment where you feel utterly alone. Think of the courtiers in old kingdoms, pitted against each other by a monarch who thrived on their division. They couldn't trust one another, so they could only rely on the very person causing their misery. The same dynamic plays out today in the corporate world. Your boss might praise you in private while subtly undermining you to your colleagues. They might create an in-group and an out-group, constantly shifting who belongs to which, forcing everyone to compete for their favor instead of collaborating. This manufactured competition keeps you from forming genuine alliances. You start to second-guess conversations with coworkers, wondering if your words will be twisted and reported back. You hesitate to share your struggles, fearing you'll be seen as a complainer or, worse, disloyal. This isolation is the soil in which their control grows. It's a carefully constructed prison, and you're led to believe you're its only inmate. But breaking free from this isolation is not just an act of defiance. It's an act of survival. The first step is to recognize the pattern. It's not about you. It's a strategy. The moment you understand this, the walls of the prison become a little less solid. Start by quietly and carefully reaching out. You don't have to launch a full-scale revolution. It can begin with a simple, private conversation. Find a trusted colleague, someone you've observed, who seems grounded and fair-minded. Go for a coffee off-site. Start with neutral topics, building rapport. Then you can gently probe. You might say something like, "I've been finding the feedback on the recent project a bit confusing. How did you interpret it?" Notice their reaction. Are they open or do they shut down? You're not looking for gossip. You're looking for shared reality. Often, you'll find that your colleague has had a similar experience. That single moment of validation, of hearing someone else say, "Yes, that happened to me too," is incredibly powerful. It pierces the bubble of isolation. Suddenly, you're not crazy. You're not incompetent. You are simply reacting to a toxic environment. These small connections are lifelines. They rebuild your confidence and your sense of reality. Documenting your experiences is another crucial step, but it's more powerful when done in concert, when you and a trusted colleague both have records of inconsistent directives, of praise followed by public criticism, of promises made and then denied. It's no longer just your word against theirs. It becomes a pattern of behavior. Strengthening your network outside of your immediate team is equally vital. The narcissistic boss wants your entire world to revolve around them. By expanding your professional circle, you dilute their influence. Make an effort to connect with people in other departments. Attend company-wide events or industry meets. Have lunch with someone from a different team. These connections serve two purposes. First, they give you perspective. You'll see how other teams function and how other managers lead, reminding you that your situation is not the norm. This is crucial for maintaining your mental health and your professional standards. Second, these contacts become your allies and your eyes and ears within the organization. They can offer different viewpoints, provide information you might not otherwise have access to, and could even be instrumental if you decide to make a move to a different department. Think of it as building bridges away from the toxic island you're on. Every new professional relationship you build is a step toward a safer shore. It reminds you that your value is not determined by one person's distorted view. Your skills and contributions are seen and appreciated by a wider audience. This external validation is an antidote to the constant criticism and gaslighting you may be enduring. It's about creating a professional support system that is independent of your boss's control. It's also important to invest in your life outside of work. When your job is a source of constant stress and anxiety, it's easy to let it consume you. You come home exhausted, with no energy left for friends, family, or hobbies. This is a dangerous trap because it reinforces the isolation. The narcissistic boss takes up all the space in your head, even when you're not in the office. You must consciously and deliberately push back. Make plans with friends and stick to them. Re-engage with hobbies that bring you joy and a sense of accomplishment. Exercise, spend time in nature, read a book, do anything that reminds you of who you are outside of your job title. This isn't just about distraction. It's about reclaiming your identity. Your role as an employee is only one part of you. By nurturing the other parts, you strengthen your resilience. You create a foundation of self-worth that isn't dependent on your boss's approval. When you have a rich, fulfilling life outside of work, the dramas of the office start to shrink in significance. You have other sources of joy, support, and validation. This makes you less susceptible to manipulation. You're no longer a captive audience. Your well-being becomes your priority, and you'll find the strength to set boundaries, to protect your mental health, and to ultimately make the decision that's right for you, whether that's staying and managing the situation with your newfound support system, or moving on to a healthier environment where you can truly thrive. You are not alone in this experience, and reclaiming your connections is the first step toward taking back your power.